Hi students, welcome to English class. Today we will discuss the uses of the simple present tense and the present continuous tenses. So you have already learned the 12 tenses and the auxiliary verbs that we use to make different tenses. And now we have to come to the uses of these tenses also. Okay, so first is simple present tense. Last day we discussed that while we think of the 12 tenses, in simple present tense we can directly use the first form of the verb. The first form is V1 form, present form, V1 form. So that is given here in this table. In an affirmative sentence, in a positive sentence, with the pronouns I, we, you and they, V1 is to be used. In simple present, we use V1 or V1 plus S or ES form, and I think you know that V1 is, we can say V1 is plural form, V1 plus S or ES is singular form. And this V1 form is used with the I, we, you and they. And he, she and it, these third person singular pronouns use V1 plus S or ES in simple present tense form. Okay, even though we say this V1 plus S or ES singular form, that is used only with the third person singulars. With other pronouns, even with the first person singular pronoun, second person singular pronoun, V1 is to be used. So examples are given. I read books, and if it is he reads books. So in simple present tense, V1 or V1 plus S or ES form is to be used. V1 is used with the I, we, you and they. V1 plus S or ES is to be used with the third person singulars, he, she and it. And if it is negative, so we know that if it is negative, we have already learned that if it is negative, that not is to be added with the auxiliary. But we know that in simple present there is no auxiliary. So what do? We split the main verb using the forms of the auxiliary verb do. So read can be split as do read. So do will be the auxiliary there. And if we have to make it negative, that not is to be added with do. So don't plus V1. So that's why I don't read books. And if it is third person singular, we know that this is S or ES form. So the same form of do, that is does, is to be used here, and does plus not, doesn't plus V1. So he doesn't read books. And in the case of questions, we have learned that the first word should be an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb is the format of questions. So do plus subject plus V1. So do I read books? And if it is third person singulars, does. So does he or does she read books, etc. So this is the basic thing about simple present which you have already learned. So we'll come to the use of simple present. First one, to express something that is always true, universal truth. That is always true. That means there will be no change. That is why it is told that is something always true or universal truth. One or two examples are given here. The earth moves around the sun. We know that it's a universal truth. There will be no change every time. Even in the past it was like that, in the present it is like that, and in future it will be like that. So it will be same. There will be no change at all. That's why we say universal truth. The earth moves around the sun. Sun rises in the east. Likewise, whenever we think of any universal truth, something that is always true, simple present is to be used. And the main usage is to show habitual action. So we know what is habitual action. Any action that happens regularly at a fixed interval of time, maybe every day, every week, however, habitual action. So he wakes up at 5 o'clock. She reads books. It rains in August. So while we say he wakes up at 5 o'clock, that means that's the habit of the person. Every day this happens. Or she reads books. That means she has the habit of reading books. So you should be very careful about it. This is to show habitual actions. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്, പതിവായിട്ട് സംഭവിക്കുന്ന ഏതെങ്കിലും കാര്യങ്ങളെ പറ്റി സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ഷീ റീഡ്സ് ബുക്സ് മീൻസ് അവൾക്ക് പുസ്തകം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവൾ പതിവായിട്ട് പുസ്തകം വായിക്കാറുണ്ട് എന്നാണ് അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം. സോ ഐ ഗോ ടു ചർച്ച്, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഞാൻ പതിവായിട്ട് പള്ളിയിൽ പോകാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ habitual action, that's the main use of simple present. And the third use is to show a planned future activity. Simple present can be used to show a future activity if it is a planned one, if it is already planned. For example, the examinations begin next Monday. That means it's already planned to conduct the exam next Monday. So the examinations begin next Monday. So we know that in future tense normally we are using shall or will. So that only shows that it will take place, it will happen in future. But while we use simple present to show futurity, to show a future activity, that is to give the idea that it is a planned activity. It is already planned. The Prime Minister visits Kattapana on 30th of this month. If I tell such a sentence, that shows that such a thing has been planned. Okay, so these are the three main uses of simple present tense. And for us, the most important thing is the second one, that is to show habitual action. Okay. So now we come to the present continuous tense. So we learned that in continuous tense, the auxiliary verb used is be form. Be form plus V1 ing form is continuous tense. As it is present continuous, what does it mean? Present form of the auxiliary verb be. Present form, V1 form. So we learned that three V1 forms are there. Which are they? Is, am and are plus V1 ing. So that is once more given in this table. In affirmative, along with the pronoun I, am is to be used. Am plus V1 ing. So am is used only with the first person singular pronoun I. And if it is we, you and they, are plus V1 ing form of the verb is to be used. So example, we are reading a book or they are reading books, etc. If it is third person singulars, he, she or it, is to be used. Is plus V1 ing. So he is reading a book, she is reading a book. So in present continuous, present tense, present form of the auxiliary be plus V1 ing form of the verb is to be used. Three V1 forms are there. Is, am and are. Am is used only with I. We, you and they take are as the auxiliary in present continuous tense. And is used only with the third person singular he, she and it. And here also the negative, if it is first person, am plus not. Plus V1 ing. So I am not reading. If it is we, you, they, etc. Are plus not plus V1 ing. So we are not reading. If it is third person singular, is plus not V1 ing. He is not reading. In question, we know that if you have to make question, use the auxiliary verb in the beginning. So if it is I am plus V1 ing. Am I reading? If it is we, you, they, are plus subject plus V1 ing. So are we reading, are they reading, are you reading, etc. If it is third person singular, is plus subject plus V1 ing. Is he reading? So present continuous is, am, are plus V1 ing. So we have to come to the uses. The first one, to show an action that is happening at the moment of speaking. When we speak something, if we see some action that is going on, we have to use present continuous. So that is called real present. Examples are given. He is reading a book now. They are watching the TV. It is raining now. So here you should learn, or you should understand the difference between simple present and present continuous. So while we say he is reading a book now, what's the meaning of that? Now, this moment, while you look, you see the person reading. So what's the difference? He reads a book or he reads books. That means he has the habit of reading book. അദ്ദേഹം പതിവായി ബുക്കുകൾ വായിക്കാറുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബുക്കുകൾ വായിക്കുന്ന ശീലമുണ്ട്. He reads a books. He is reading a book now means ഇപ്പോൾ വായിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. So they are watching the TV. Similarly, here also they are watching the TV means അവർ ഇപ്പോൾ TV കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. പക്ഷെ അവർക്ക് TV കാണുന്ന ശീലമുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർ പതിവായിട്ട് TV കാണാറുണ്ട് എന്നാണെങ്കിൽ എന്താ പറയണ്ടേ? They watch TV എന്നാണ് പറയേണ്ടത്. What the difference? So keep in mind the difference between simple present and present continuous. Simple present to show any action that happens habitually, habitual actions. Present continuous to show an action that is happening now. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ ചുറ്റുപാട് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന, ഇപ്പോൾ സംഭവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളെ പറ്റി പറയുമ്പോഴാണ് പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ടെൻസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് ആണ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം ഏത് കാര്യമാണോ പറയുന്നത് ആ കാര്യം പതിവായിട്ട് നടക്കാറുണ്ട് എന്നതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ രണ്ട് ഇത് തമ്മിലുള്ള വ്യത്യാസം മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിരിക്കുക. Then present continuous also can be used to show future action. Then it is to show that it's a planned and arranged action. We learned that if it is simple present, that action is planned action, solely planned, no arrangements have completed. But if it is present continuous to show futurity, that is to show that it's a planned and arranged action. The Prime Minister is inaugurating the new building next Monday. I am going to Delhi next Friday. അപ്പോൾ എന്താണ് ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്താ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടത്? ആ ഒരു കാര്യം മുൻകൂട്ടി പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുകയും അതിനു വേണ്ട ക്രമീകരണങ്ങൾ നടത്തുകയും ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. ക്രമീകരണം നടത്തുക മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളെങ്കിൽ സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ക്രമീകരണവും നടത്തി അതിനുള്ള അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ്സും നടത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എന്താണ്? പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. I am going to Delhi next Friday means I have already planned it to go to Delhi, but I have made the arrangements also. What are the arrangements I should make? Okay, no doubt I should book the ticket, I should arrange the money for that, I should think of the accommodation there. Likewise, what all arrangements are needed should also have been completed. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോഴും പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോഴും ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ടെൻസിൽ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഡിഫറൻസ്. പ്ലാൻഡ് മാത്രമാണെങ്കിൽ സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക, പ്ലാൻഡ് ആൻഡ് അറേഞ്ച്ഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. Okay, so I think there is nothing much to tell about it, but at the same time you should keep in mind that there are other uses also for both the tenses. മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? നമ്മൾ ഈ സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റിനും പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസിനും മറ്റുള്ള യൂസസ് ഉണ്ട്. ബട്ട് ഫോർ us it is not so important. That may be important for literature students, but for an ordinary person, the uses that we have mentioned now will be enough. So okay, so based on that, see, I have given 5 sentences in which you have to complete the sentences using simple present or present continuous tense. First one, he generally dash Hindi but he dash English today. What may be how to use the verb speaks. So while we see the word generally, that shows that it is the habit, it is the habit of the person. So that should be in simple present. He generally speaks Hindi. Why speaks he? So singular form is to be used. If it is I speak or you speak, third person singular, S is to be added. So he generally speaks Hindi, but he dash English today, now or today. Present continuous. He is speaking English today. Then second one, the telephone bell dash again. It sometimes dash 30 times a day. You have to use the verb ring. The telephone bell is ringing again. Present continuous. It sometimes, that happens frequently or every day or habitually. So you have to use. It sometimes rings. Why rings? Here the subject is it. So it sometimes rings 30 times a day. Then third one, Ashok dash his homework now. The word now shows that it is present continuous. So Ashok is doing his homework now. He usually does it at night. So that is his habit. So certain words give the clue that it is habitual. So usually, generally, etc. So here he generally dash a blue shirt. So habitual. So wear is the verb given here. Wears, because here also he generally wears a blue shirt. But today, okay, present continuous, he is wearing a brown one. Fifth one, Peter dashed the violin very well. Now he dashed the piano. So very well. Peter plays the violin very well. Now he is playing the piano. So his habit, or regularly he is playing violin. So we use plays here. Peter plays the violin very well. But now present, he is playing the piano. Okay. So this is what we have to discuss today. The main difference between in uses between simple present and present continuous. The main thing, simple present is used to show habitual action, and present continuous is used to show an action that is happening now. So that is called real present. Then real present എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ സംഭവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യം, അത് സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പ്രസന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. പതിവായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി സിമ്പിൾ പ്രസന്റ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. Okay, so there is nothing difficult. So go through it and keep in mind the difference between simple present and present continuous. Okay, so we will discuss the other tenses in the following days. So today we will stop for, and we will I think we will meet tomorrow. Okay, thank you.